Hey guys, we're going to take a look at simplifying radicals. This is a topic that the 10th grade geometry teacher suggested that we cover going into next year for geometry. So that's why we're going to do this. It should bring back some memories of 8th grade. You did a little bit of this then, so hopefully it won't be too bad, but we're going to review. So what you're going to see is I gave you a chart of all your perfect squares and your perfect square roots. You don't have to have these memorized, but I would suggest it makes the math much quicker if you know your perfect square. So I'm going to keep referring back to this when we go through. Make sure you have a calculator nearby as well, so that you can do the dividing. So to simplify radicals. So your first step here is we're going to split the radical into two radicals. Step 2 is then we're going to divide our perfect squares to find the biggest or the largest perfect square that can be divided evenly. And then step 3 is going to simplify. All right, so if I look at this first example, the square root of 18, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the number 18. I'm going to go up to my chart. So I know I'm going to go, so 18 falls somewhere in here. So I'm going to use these numbers and I'm going to see which one I can divide into evenly. So in my calculator, I'm going to do 18 divided by 16. If you do that, it doesn't come out nicely. So try the next number. 18 divided by 9. Well, that comes out nicely, so that must be the largest one, so that's what I'm going to use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this up into two radicals. So I know I can divide this by 9 and 2, and I always put my perfect square first. Then you're actually going to take the square root of each number. So I know that the square root of 9 is 3. And then I have the square root of 2. If you try taking the square root of 2, it's an irrational. We talked about that at the beginning of this year. So I'm just going to leave it as 3 radical 2. My final answer. Okay, so number 2, square root of 75. So I'm going to split this up. I'm going to go up to here, erase these. All right, so 75. So it means I'm going to look at all of these numbers. Always start with the largest one, okay, to see which one it works. So if I look at 75, I'm going to go through. 75 divided by 64. Doesn't work. 75 divided by 49. Doesn't work. 75 divided by 36. Doesn't work. 75 divided by 25. That works. So I'm going to use that 25. So if you divide it, that becomes 25 and 3. Or sorry, 25 and 3. Now the square root of 25 is 5. And again, you can get that right from here. And the square root of radical 3, you just keep it. I simplified that radical. All right, square root of 98. I'm going to split it up. So again, kind of get the gist of what I'm doing here. So 98, so I'm going to go all the way to here. So I'm looking at these numbers, all of these numbers. So 98 divided by 81 doesn't work. 98 divided by 64 doesn't work. And then just keep going through until you find the one that works. So I did 98 divided by 49. And I got 2. And I know that the square root of 49 is 7. And the square root radical 2. So there's my final answer. Why don't you pause the video and see if you can do this one on your own and then check your answer. All right, so if I split that up, so I have 343. So I am starting all the way here. I'm going to go through and see which one works. So 343, that doesn't work. Doesn't work. Okay, doesn't work. And you're just going to keep going. Okay, I know this doesn't work. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. that's what I got. So that gets divided into 49 and 7. I know that the square root of 49, square root of 49 is 7, and I'm left with radical 7. Okay? All right, last few examples. So square root of 72. Go ahead and give it a try. Okay. So I know it divides 36 and 2. So my final answer is square root of 36 is 6, radical 2. Okay. Go ahead and go through, see what you get. And I know I can divide this into 4 and 3. So the square root of 4 is 2, radical 3. Okay. Square root of 45. I can divide that by 9 and 5. So my answer would be 3 and 5. And the last one. So 180, so much larger number. So again, if you need to, go back to this chart to kind of get a bigger eraser here. So 180 is right about here. So you're going to use these numbers to divide by 180 and see which one works. So go ahead and take a couple minutes to do that, and then come back and check your answers. So the number that works is 36 and 5. So my final answer would be 6, radical 5. All right, go ahead and give the quizzes a try. If you are still stuck after these notes, go ahead and get a hold of me either during office hours, which is posted on the classroom, or shoot me an email, and maybe we can meet up through Google Meets. Have a good rest of your day, guys.